Good morning. This is your morning empowerment. This is our last series on Naomi. Recap: the first series was Good to the Last Drop. The second series was What You Call Me. And this series is going to be Perception of Self. So we know that Naomi had a family, a husband, two sons, two daughter-in-laws, and they had left their country. And Naomi lost her husband, lost her two sons, lost one daughter-in-law, and came back to Bethlehem. The people saw her. She wanted them to call her Mara, which means bitterness. And so this is where we will pick up, whereas Naomi was a woman of standard. She was a woman of position. She was a woman of power and grace. And before she left Bethlehem to go to Moab. But of course, and when she lost, then she allowed her circumstance, her environment to change her thinking. And due to her afflictions, the negative thinking occurred, and she saw herself in a different manner. She allowed deception in her mind to make her think that she was lower than what she was at the beginning. So my question is, what do you see in you? What do you see in you? Because your perception of you determines what others see of you. And so are you giving negative vibes, or are you bitter, or are you angry? Or you, oh, woe is me. And Naomi allowed her status from her family to dictate who she was at the beginning. And so when she lost that, then she allowed her circumstance to dictate who she is. And so how many of you are allowing your position, your status, and others define you? You are not who they say you are. You are not what you have done. You are not what life circumstances has allowed to happen. Life's disappointments. And so when you allow life to determine your identity, then it's not until you realize that you are not who you thought you were, and you are who become who you already are. And so at this point, we can't allow who we were and our circumstances to be who we're supposed to become. And who we're supposed to become is found in our God, our Creator. And so we have to change our thinking, and we have to go back to understand that when we was in our mother's womb, that's who we were, and that's who we are, and that's who we are becoming. But when we allow things on the exterior to take over our thinking, to take over our desires and our hearts, and we start believing in those negative thoughts, those negative patterns, then we're not living to the fullness of who we were when we was in our mother's womb. The thought that was in God's mind of who we are and who we are to become. So the Creator knows who we are. So we have to go back when those negative patterns and negative thinking start to occur because of our life's journey and circumstances. We have to go back to our Creator to determine who we was at the beginning and who we are to become. And He is the only one that knows that. So I just wanted to get on here and encourage you that not to allow your disappointments of life to keep you at somewhere that you're not supposed to be, and to lose your identity of who you really are. And a lot of times people lose their identity because of life circumstances and life's journey. And that's not who you are. That is not who you are. Take some time, sit, and listen to who you are to become, but who you were at the beginning, the foundation of the earth, and in your mother's womb, and in the thought of God. So just want to encourage you. You guys have a great day. Remember the perception of yourself. When you give off a negative perception of yourself, then you allow others to see that same perception of you. And so that, and a lot of times, that's the tag that's on you. It's because you have already given that perception off, and they have taken on who you think you are. So give off positive perception of yourself on who you really are and know your identity. Have a great day. Remember, ladies, to connect with me on my Facebook community, Destiny Grabbers Women Gathering, and subscribe to my YouTube, Dr. Tanya Hightower. You guys have a great day. Perception of self. Remember, what you give off, others attract from you, and that's who they label you. So you don't want to give off a low self-esteem, insecurities, and any other behaviors, negative behaviors that you are really not. You are an overcomer. Have a great day.